How do you develop good time? It takes a lot more than just playing with a metronome. In fact, playing with a metronome does very little to improve your actual time. One of the first and most important issues to understand is time interaction.
To me, this is a very important thing because this is what happens to you, to your body, when you're playing music, when you encounter music, when you're learning music, and when you're putting music out there as a musician. So, there are several phases. The first phase is intellectual time. Like, this is the first thing you do when you learn about music. Your teacher teaches you how to count pulses 1, 2, 3, 4. You are able to start organizing, your drumming maybe into subdivisions and pulses because of learning the structure. So that's intellectual time. The next thing to me is throat time. Throat time is when you can start to sing pulses and you can interact maybe with counting and playing subdivisions, basic beats. It's mostly kind of robotic at that point. Intellectual and throat controlling your movements. The next thing is chest time, when you can really start to feel what you're playing. You don't have to count so much anymore. All this is basically subtext, voice, and intellect. And it transfers to your chest, let's say. It transfers to feeling. You can start to feel, grooves and music a little more freely, and you can interact this way. The next thing would be gut time. Now, gut time is very important because this is all emotion here, all inside, and this is where you emanate time from. Now, there's a big difference between just being controlled by the time and you emanating time, right? Coming from you, from all that is you, putting it out there into music. All the great players, I think, emanate time very strongly. Tony Williams, Elvin Jones, all the great players. Now, this is something that you do in combination with chest, throat, and intellectual time, of course. It might take some time, but it's a very important thing. If you listen to great groups like Muñequitos de Matanza, African drummers, Brazilian drummers, all great musicians have such a deep sense of time, and it comes from the gut. It's no longer thinking, and it's no longer overpowering them emotionally, but they emanate it. So when you get hit by gut time, it's something you really remember. If you ever go to a concert and you see some great musicians, have you ever had that feeling where the next day you're overwhelmed? You cannot forget the experience. It was just blew you away. That kind of thing comes from gut time. You experienced gut time. The last thing is organic time. Organic time is a mixture, a combination of all these things where you are so independent from pulses and subdivisions that you can play anything you want over these things and always know where the timeline structure is. Always know where the one is and come out on one immediately. This is organic time. Elvin Jones, again, one of the masters of this. It's a fascinating way to play organic time. Any questions? Yeah.
By organic time, do you mean like, say if someone's playing to like a metronome or something, like they can speed up and slow down in the bar but still hit the one?
Exactly. Yeah. No matter what you do, it's basically something like this. An example of organic time. It's not so easy. Especially with backbeat type of stuff, but something like this. Right, nothing defined, nothing 16th note, no. Just you know. You feel time so deeply, you don't need to rely on subdivisions. You can say whatever you want. Nothing is precise in nature, you know. Not even the rotation of the earth, not even the rotation of the earth around the sun. There's no such thing as a straight line in nature. Everything is wiggly. That's what being alive is about, right? I'm not saying that you should speed up and slow down at random, okay? But I'm saying that you should develop this pocket, this feeling for time that allows you to be deep, but not mechanical, right? You've all heard guys that do amazing solos, like, but at the end of the day, this is so boring. Have you experienced that? It's because they're completely mechanical, no feeling. As opposed to like a guy like Steve Jordan, for example, who just plays, and you're like, whoa, unbelievable, right? That's a whole different story, you know. It's not that he's playing simple, and that's what's great. It's just that the feeling for time is so connected to everything, to the universe, to the earth, you know, the feeling, that's you, that's life.
So by now you can begin to understand that working on your time is much more than just playing with a metronome. You need to understand and feel the effects that rhythm has on music and time. To review all the effects that rhythm has on 4/4 time, please go back and look at my other videos in my method. Now we're going to go to inner clockwork in different time signatures.
So up to now we explored 4/4. But what happens when you have different time signatures? Do the effects stay the same? Well, the effects are still there, but they move around. What happens when you explore different genres of music with different time signatures? This is when things start to get really interesting. Different genres may have the same time signature, but are felt in unique ways. Let's look at 6/8. 6/8 is one of the most beautiful and pliable time signatures there is. The first thing you notice when you hear this song in 6/8 are the strongest pulses, the 1 and the 4. The 1 and the 4 become the downbeats, earth subdivisions. If you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this type of groove is going to pull you towards those feelings, those downbeats on the 1 and the 4. The 2 and the 5 become the jabbing effects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They jab the time. The 3 and the 6 then become the flowing effects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you subdivide further, then many different interesting things happen, similar to what happens when you switch from 8th notes to 16th notes. If you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and, then depending on how exactly a particular piece is felt, you can generate different time feels and different grooves, even like halftime grooves, things that are really mind-blowing. 6/8 is really a wonderful, wonderful time signature. The and of 1 and the and of 4 are the jabbing effect subdivisions. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. They jab the time. But the and of 2 and the and of 5 become the response kind of feeling, kind of pull the time to response. Very interesting. That's what I call sky effect, right? So you have the downbeat and then the sky. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and, right? The and of 3 and the and of 6 become the flowing effect subdivisions as well, just like the does in 4/4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. Other genres can use the same time signatures but feel totally different. This piece is written in 3 and in 6. It's a hybrid groove. It's a mix of chacarera and jazz. Chacarera is a very unique and wonderful groove from Argentina. Some players in Argentina say you can feel it in 2. And many players say you can feel it in 3. So the uniqueness of each style can really help to develop your inner clock by absorbing the way that it's felt. If you do this, your whole awareness of time becomes much wider and more sophisticated. When you go back to playing grooves that you're used to, you'll be able to function on a much higher rhythmic level and it'll feel more relaxed and fluid.
This tune is in 3 and has a few different genres in it as well. When you're dealing with 3/4 in this way, we have more of a 16th note feel. But notice how the groove impacts the feelings of the subdivisions. The 1 and the 2 are almost the same in that they feel like downbeats, and the 3 feels like a backbeat. The rest of the subdivisions seem pretty normal here, with the E's and the does kind of falling into their usual roles. It's interesting to note that the and of 2 and the and of 3 seem to have a flowing note subdivision feel, while the and of 1 has a jabbing feel. And of course, if you play all the ands, it seems like they could be all backbeats. Ternary time signatures are truly fascinating in this way, and now maybe we get an idea of the way we can use our inner clocks to the full extent. So what about 7 and other time signatures? In these cases, like in 6/8 and 3/4, the feelings each subdivisions give depends on the way the pieces of music or particular genres are felt. There is a Greek groove called Zembekiko, which is in 9. And if you play that music, you will feel all these effects we're studying in different places than, say, if you played a piece with influences from India. This piece is also in 9, but has a completely different feel to it. So what you have to do with different meters is notice how the phrases are being subdivided and also pay attention to the genre. This will give you the feel of the subdivisions. It helps, of course, to research the style of music and, of course, observe the people of each country interact with the music. Watch them clap and watch them dance, the two things that always help tremendously.
I am very grateful to everyone who is watching these videos. If you want to get the play-alongs and the charts, become a member of my lesson site, philmaturano.com, the most innovative curriculum in the world and the most complete lesson site there is. See you there.